Hello, my brothers and sisters. I'm sending you all a plethora of love, happiness, and an infinite amount of compassion. If you're all wondering why I have a hoodie on and a jacket and everything like that inside, it's as you probably can hear, is I'm a little sick. I feel fine, but obviously I have something going on. But it'll it'll pass, so I'm not worried about it. But I was really inspired to make a video on how special everyday life is, even though we think that tomorrow is always guaranteed, that we are 100% going to wake up in the morning and we're 100% going to quote unquote do the same thing. But it's not like that. Tomorrow is never guaranteed, and we truthfully don't know how long we have. Um, we could be here one second, gone the next. I could, not that I would like to, but it is very possible. It's a very high, it's a possibility that I could die after making this video, or I could be driving to work one day, or doing something, and anything can happen. Anything is possible. So we really need to not just be dragging our feet or thinking that, oh, we have to go through this all again, or tomorrow is going to be another dreadful day. We should be very, very thankful, and there should be almost an essence of just joy to everyday life. And we can create that ourselves. It's just all about perspective and changing that perspective. And when things pop into our head that are like, oh, this, I can't believe this is going on again, or I can't believe that I have to deal with all this again. You can change your perspective and improve the situation. You can think, oh, I'm grateful that either I can practice more, I can help somebody's day be better, or I can help those who are less fortunate. You can always switch it from being what would be quote unquote a negative situation to a very positive situation. Like work, for example, a lot of people do. I mean, obviously it's work. It's not like the funnest thing in the world or the most fun thing in the world. But you can change your perspective on what you're doing, and be more attentive when you're there, instead of thinking about, oh, I'm at work, or being at work but thinking, oh, I can't. Your mind is always thinking of the future when you can't ever actually be there. You're always here right now in the present moment, and you can't be thinking of, while you're at work, doing all these other things when you're at work, or when you're doing something that I guess is when you're doing something that isn't you're not very enthusiastic about. You can flip the script and make it a more positive situation by changing your outlook. So instead of thinking that there's always a guarantee that you will wake up in the morning, or that there will always be the next day, one of these times there won't be the next day. And something could happen, and you could have wished that you had done something different. So instead of wishing, think like that today, and start working towards that goal today, or making that change today to do something more positive, more compassionate, more loving. For when we do more compassionate things and more kind acts, it doesn't just bring happiness to those around us, it brings happiness to ourselves, because that's our true nature. Our true nature is compassion. And the more that we can be compassionate to those around us, the more smiles and more joy, the more harmonious we can live. So let us not take for granted everyday life. Let us make everyday life very special and very unique, for it is not always guaranteed. And just to end this video, I do have a little poem that I wrote, and apparently there is one already online, but I didn't even look online before I made it. Just popped into my head because it sounded right. So this poem's called "A Grain of Sand," and it's a grain of sand, a single atom, the vastness of space, the continuity of time. We take for granted this precious life, ignorant to the fact that we, a grain of sand, have been fortunate enough to be turned into beautiful glass. We mistake this glass for steel and iron, convinced we will not shatter, we will not break. Truth is, we push the limits to what glass can take. No two grains of sand are alike, so let us recognize the beautiful, elegant rarity of this glass-like life. So let us be thankful for all that we have. Let us lift those around us up. May we all live more harmoniously, more united, and more together. May we generate more compassion and more altruism. May we break down these invisible borders, and may we all live together. I love you all, and one day we will all live as one human family. So everybody.